Yeah, we can start with Mikhail.
Okay, so should I?
Yes.
Should I start?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So hi again, everybody. My name is Michael. So let's get started. Almost 100 million Americans and billions of people from all around the world know they should invest in stocks, but they don't. And we asked them why. And the most common reasons are because it's risky, they don't want to lose the money, because it's complicated. But the main thing is because it's boring. Stocks is for a long run, so and you should wait for a 5, 10, or even 20 years to get income. For the millennials and for the Z generation, it sounds like totally insane because they want to get income right here and right now. That's why we created Fantasy Invest. Fantasy Invest is a stock market simulator based on fantasy football mechanics, so you can play stocks without any buying one. And of course, get daily income. Let's look how it works. So download our app, pick 5 your favorite stocks, play daily tournaments with friends or colleagues, or even with your family, get coins and then exchange it for cool prizes. One of our users already won iPhone 11 Pro, for example. So we launched a few months ago, and our user base growing month to month. But the main thing is users love our game, and they coming back again and again to play with us. And that's why we have a extremely low customer acquisition cost. So we get users less than for $1 via Facebook. So our business model is paid tournaments. We already made it, in-app purchase, and later this year we will launch some kind of like a funnel, advertising funnel for our top brokerage firms and accounts in states. Of course, the market is huge and it's hard competitive, but we aim to conquer our specific niche. Fun, easy way to engage, interact, and educate the stock market. And we aim to get 5 million users in the next 5 years. And we have a great team to achieve this. I already created a software development company with $8 million revenue, so I know how to create a business. Our chief marketing officer had acquired millions of users for top global brands, and our CTO already created a trading platform from 0 to 100 million users only for 5 years. And we have advisory board. These guys is well known in States. They all Russian born, but they have a huge experience and they will definitely help us grow. So right now we're raising our first round and we know our key metrics and know how to step by step engage new investors and achieve new investment rounds. So as a summary, my name is Michael. I'm CEO and founder of Fantasy Invest. Fantasy Invest is a stock market simulator based on fantasy football mechanics. And now we are raising our first investment round. Would you like to join us? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mikhail. Okay, our questions. Neil, Morgan.
All right, I have a question in terms of the business model to see if I understood it right. So essentially, you attract users onto a fantasy gaming platform, and then is your revenue model that then you're referring those users to actual brokerages that then pay you a commission? I saw that you mentioned the $150 referral. So is that the idea? You acquire the users at roughly $1 acquisition cost, and then you're able to refer them at $150?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So we have inside our application revenue model. So we have paid tournaments and app purchase to upgrade your account and to get more coins and so on and so on and so on. And our top goal, is to sell the best users to the brokerage accounts. So 150 is a point of start, so we can grow these numbers.
And then right now, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, so how do people choose the stocks right now? Is it just like they go on, they do the research outside of the platform, and then they come back? Or is there something like some research built into it? Because there could be an opportunity to provide content in partnership with somebody else and then actually have advertising on the platform as an additional revenue stream.
Oh, it's a great question. Thanks a lot. So exactly. You're absolutely right. Right now we have some kind of light version of analytics inside our application, but after the 10,000 active users, we'll make some kind of advertising model with our partners. Of course, you're absolutely right.
Okay, sounds good. I love that. Let's talk offline because in a prior life, I was at a company called Market Realist that actually focuses on creating research for retail users. And it's the whole website is monetized via advertising. And I'm pretty sure they would probably be open to a partnership, just providing the content and then having some split on the advertising.
Wow, it sounds perfect. Thanks a lot. Great.
Morgan.
I was going to ask you, like, how would you differentiate yourself between what you guys do and, you know, Robinhood, for example, because they've definitely started gamifying the whole space. You know, they're no longer boring. It's, you know, one of the most, I mean, again, you know, there's a lot to be said for their business model and their retail flow versus like traditional, but they've definitely started, you know, basically making it more fun and exciting. Like, how do you kind of separate that from Robinhood, and then how do you make it so that it's more about the game itself rather than just like, you know, the gambling level of it? I'm just curious how you guys kind of approach that.
Oh, great question. Thanks a
Great.
lot, Morgan.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah. So our first thing is we are totally zero risk. So we have no money at all. So you shouldn't buy the stocks to be engaged in the stock market. The second thing, we plan to become like some kind of like a DraftKings. So it's a game of skills. It's not a gambling. We're totally legal in states, so we have some kind of all legal knows about this, and we aim to create some kind of like DraftKings, but for fantasy stocks. So DraftKings is a huge company in states, and this model is some kind of proven, you know. And the difference, and our difference between the Robinhood and our application, it's like from the bets and from the fantasy sports. So.
Cool, Lena.
My question.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, my question was about the market and your scalability, because you mentioned that it's for US market and for US customers, but here we have like international interest and international market representatives. So what is your strategy, go-to-market strategy for different countries, for different peoples, or it's international, and where is your limit?
Oh, perfect question. Thanks a lot. So our first focus is US market because US users is very familiar with the stocks. So they want to engage the stock market. But of course, we will try to conquer other markets. For example, it's Europe, of course, and it's Asia market. And so we are totally worldwide, but we start from the States because the States is a very big stakes on States market. So that's why.
Guys, one more question.
I think there's
I have a question. So what do you have?
Oh, sorry, I missed you.
Sorry. Yeah, Christiana, go ahead.
So then how are you going to deal with regulatory implications of this type of platform? So you said you're focusing on America or United States, but sometimes, you know, like the SEC is the hardest of them all. And so different countries, different investment vehicles, different regulations, how are you going to adjust with that as you try to scale and go global?
Okay, great question. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, that was also my question.
Oh, perfect. So the first and the main thing is we are game. So we are a game of skills. We are not trading. So we are the people cannot buy the stocks inside our application, and that's why regulation is really at a low level for us. And of course, we have lawyers who will try to make this work for us. So as I've already said, we have a great lawyer in our advisors, and he also our investors. So here also our investors. So I think we have a great background to achieve this point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miguel. Maybe one more question.
Yes, I have a question.
Good.
I was thinking that there's also the opportunity, aside from the fantasy aspect of it, you can bring in more like the arcade feature of it, more for for people that like to play more just like the daily trading. There's actually another company that a few of us here on the judge panel know called Global Liquidity that is actually creating a 3D interface for doing that, so people can gamify trading the order book. That's another interesting thing to potentially look into a partnership there.
Wow, thanks a lot.
Okay,
May I ask
guys.
any question?
Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Okay, what can I understand from this, that this is based on the fantasy football game, famous game, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, I was asking about, the GCC market. Now in the stock market, there is a lot of changes, and these changes will require special logistic services regarding this app to enter this market. So, do you have a specific plan on this or something for calculating the ROI and how it will cost? What is the risk factor here? Because you mentioned before that there is zero risk, okay? But I think there is nothing here with zero risk here, in the GCC, especially on the MEA region. So I'm asking about the hidden logistic support, about this application to be applicable in the GCC and the MEA region. There is a specific plan for this.
Okay, I got it. Thanks a lot. So the first of all, we are game, so we have no options to buy or sell stocks. We only get that data direct from the Nasdaq or other trading or other stock markets, and we have no regulatory rules. So we have no some kind of breakdowns to have some kind of problems with regulatory right now.
Okay.
So we just a game. You don't buying your stocks. You just make some kind of virtual portfolio of your stocks. So it's some kind of replication of your stocks, and you don't need to pay for them right now. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Mikhail, sorry, just if I can add one thing. Yeah, sorry. Mikhail, I really like what you guys are doing. When I was in university, we had a simulation for stocks, and I think it was a great learning experience. Now, not everyone is gonna want to play stocks or want to gamify stocks. It's a very niche market, and just a recommendation from my side. It's something I enjoyed when I was back in university, and I think that you should really target the education sector, especially those in finance and those in business. If you can get the universities, I think this will really, it's something that it's a good market to attract. So wish you the best of luck. Just wanted to give you my input. Thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We're ready to. Sorry.
Hi, sorry. I know there's not much time, but I would also think about not only university, but like 13-year-olds, like teenagers. Imagine all of us maybe have children or want to have children, but like tech entrepreneurs, like we want our kids to be savvy. So we want them to be playing games other than Pokemon, so that would be kind of cool. Especially there's different things called like tech parks or like Google daycare. All their kids could be learning things like this at Google daycare. You know what I'm saying? So that could be interesting. Look at the big tech company. How do they handle daycare? And their tech entrepreneur or their tech employees probably want something like this for the kids to play with.
No, it's a great idea. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So,
by the way,
thanks a lot
guys,
for having me.
Yes, go to the next page, but they can use our messengers and can share this information and talk together after that. Okay, let's go to the Mikhail. Thank you so much for your time. Yes, Christiana, are you ready? Yeah.
Oh, hey, I always forget which side I'm on, if I'm on VC side or I'm on.
Yes, because Christiana, a friend of mine, and she could be like our entrepreneur as well, like investor too. Yeah, please share. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm doing my pitch then?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, always be ready. All right, I'm gonna share my screen.
Yes.
Perfect. Fantastic, thank you for the opportunity. So excited to be here. Thank you guys. Okay, so not that one. All right, so Give on Live. This is the public live stream library. Scattered no longer. We finally have the home of live stream. So the live stream library is completely free. organizing a multitude of content across media platforms. So you notice with the coronavirus and just the home cyborg culture of being on your phone, there's lots of influencers that you like, and you don't know where they're streaming. They might be on YouTube, on Facebook, all these different platforms. What if we had one place to say where they are, not being exclusive, basically similar to a Wikipedia, right? Okay, so we get to gather, we get to give on over live stream, gather where they are, and generate hope, and creating these immersive, accessible and meaningful content. We're curating this library that it's crowdsourced as well as with our aggregators. So, oops, I guess there's a typo there. Okay, so this is our product. It's Give On Live. It curates and categorizes free live stream content. So whether it's podcasts or it's live videos on YouTube or it's interviews on Instagram, we want to find out where your favorite creators are streaming and put it in one place. So they can basically search the live stream library, submit live stream content to the library if they're a creator, or if they know of somewhere that's interesting, and they can add events from the library to their personal calendar. Right now we have it integrated to Google Calendar, so it's really easy. And then for creators, they can share and promote their live stream schedule. They will have access to new audiences and access to new revenue, which we're adding a payment rail. Okay, this is definitely not the version, but let's just go to the site ourselves. No need to play around with pretty decks. Let's go to the product. Okay, so here we go, www.giveonlive.com. And here we are, the first month. So we started in April. We just entered a hackathon with this idea. Let's create the live stream library. When we created Give On Live, we wanted to add immediate value. So we have a submit, so this is it. So we started basically with people in our industry, which is we gathered all of the really cool influencers in technology. Most of these people do not know that they have a profile here. It's like Wikipedia. But Wikipedia, you have to be famous. With Give On Live, you have to be nominated by a crowdsource, or you just have to be good, So we have all different kinds. We have different, for now we have the mind, body, and soul category, and concerts and festivals, so special events. And then what you can do is you can go and submit if it's your live stream or if it's someone else's. We have rules of engagement. So we do have some moderation type pushing at the back end. This will go through and get zapped. What's your name? And especially the most important part of this submission is it your live stream or no? I'm recommending a live stream. So this is pretty much what we're doing here. Right now, you can actually physically see the calendar. Obviously, when we turn on the aggregators, we've built a Twitter aggregator. We have built a Eventbrite aggregator as well. We're looking for ways to also get content from web pages, but we found that aggregating from articles is very difficult. So we're actually just calling the journalists and asking for partnerships to get those the compilations of live concerts and festivals. So this is when a user would log in, when that feature is available, it would look like this, right? And then this would be their calendar, or they would see this is just a public Google Calendar. Let's see, let's go to Bitcoin trading with Tone Vase, and bam, because it's Google public calendar, I can copy to my calendar. Okay, let's do it. I want to watch it. It's on my calendar. The way that we have organized it now with crowdsourcing is right now we have the Give On Live calendar, and I can actually go to the calendar and add trusted ambassadors. So in this public live stream calendar, and the campaign of adding ambassadors would be extensive in the future. I would basically go to the settings and be able to add trusted members, similar to what Wikipedia does. I can add trusted members here if they are either event organizers or they are other members that want to be ambassadors and want to make the content more robust. I can add them here, and then they can have the function to recruit more ambassadors, or they can just add events to the calendar. You know, everybody gets those event notifications. Everybody gets event notifications, and always it says add to calendar. Well, if you have live stream calendar on your radar, you can just be copying with one click into the live stream library. It's not very hard to be an ambassador. So let me just actually show you the last part of the pitch, which is not that one, which is very interesting. And that's where do we stand in the market, and where is this market going? So right here, it's an enormous market. It's an enormous market, and I personally come from China. I've been living in Asia for a long time. We kind of went over that. I just want to show you the immensity. So this is the basic product. This is the mobile app that's being developed. I want to show you the immensity of this. So this is where we fall. There's specialized content, generic content. Am I done with my pitch? And we fall kind of somewhere in the middle. What I do want to show you is also this, that the live streaming market is increasing at a rapid pace, as you can see with Zoom increasing their
Christiana, can you please share this presentation with our angels and investors? And let's talk like the one-to-one.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, but there are some questions.
Okay, questions. Okay, cool. Stop.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't. I thought I was. I kind of just thought I was giving advice to other startups here. Okay. Okay.
So, can I ask a question?
Yes. Please go ahead.
So, what's the monetization strategy? How are you going to monetize?
Yeah. What is your business model? What is your business?
So, starts very simply with affiliate marketing and advertisements to start. So we already have about 15 different companies that have given us unique affiliate codes. And the reason why I'm qualified to do this is because I built affiliate marketing programs for my clients, actually. So I know how the system works. So I've just basically called my same clients and say, listen, right now we have this platform. Soon we will have 10, 15, 100, 1,000 influencers, and we can put your links around these influencers' pages. So that's kind of, it comes, I actually just call it like a Costco for creators, because we negotiate big deals and we negotiate affiliate relationships with companies, and we're passing over those discounts, passing over those relationships and those benefits to the creators. That's the first model, right? And then for the creators, model, yeah. The second model, just briefly, is anyone who's paying Zoom $15 a month can come on our site today for free. We're going to be our enterprise Zoom, enterprise Microsoft Teams. Anyone who has what they're doing as an individual can onboard to us for the same price matching, and we will do the same function, but we can have more PR and more services. Okay.
And what is your exit strategy? What is your exit strategy for the investors?
For the investors, we have, well, we're two different options, and we're actually not actually pitching to investors at the moment, but because we're deciding which one, we're kind of sitting back and deciding which one, but there's two aspects here. There's an infrastructure play. So basically B2B, which is this wallpaper over these other platforms that can be integrated and that can be replicated. So this right now is a platform for creators, but if you want to save the whales, all the whale loving creators in the world, you want to have that live stream. Or if you are Samsung and you want to make sure all of your content and your internal things are happening, and everyone needs to talk now that everything is remote, you can use our infrastructure. So there's that play. The second play would be the mobile app play, which would be a different structure. It's in stealth, because we actually have a data science team thinking about the algorithm, thinking about AI and the recommendations function. For now, the simplest way to get revenue. Oh,
sorry, yeah, and maybe you share with us who's your CTO, because you meant about artificial intelligence. It's really important.
CTO, yeah, our CTO, it's actually in the team section of the webpage. You can see our CTO, Arjan, from Lithuania. So he is actually a blockchain developer. And we don't mention blockchain right now because it's convoluted and complicated. But basically, eventually, we want the database. When we turn on the aggregators, we want to make sure that database is decentralized, so that Wikipedia, for example, can be shut off. We never want this So he's very, very highly qualified.
Okay, let's go to the questions from Morgan and Daniel. Morgan.
I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
I like the concept of it. So I'm just curious, how are you guys going to deal with like the aggregation of the data level? I mean, I just realized like you're going to have kind of it's like a secondary level, and you know, like you're going to pass through the live streams from other platforms, or is it just going to be kind of like a link, like a link up, like you just provide a hot link? So for example, like this broadcast is on Zoom right now, so you'd have like a link to Zoom, or if there's like affiliate or like multiple streams happening, would you have everything on there? I'm still trying to figure out how this would be helpful, and you know, not make it more convoluted.
Absolutely, absolutely understood. So when influencers or content creators use Zoom, it's actually the easiest for us, because we can actually just have them we can make them a host in our Zoom enterprise level, and they can be live on our site. The other thing is, any YouTube influencer, we can sync them as long as they allow it. We can sync them to our site, so they will be live on YouTube and our site at the same time. So what we do for those that we cannot sync directly, like Instagram is not allowing any embedding or syncing. So what we can do in that situation is we have their profile, the content that can be synced with our Give on Live profile, it's synced. If not, we give the links for them to go watch it over there. At the end, we want it to be a healthy resource for viewers. So we let them know everything from every person's thing, their Twitter, because in the end, if I give them the guy that they like, their handle on Instagram, their YouTube, and they like it, they enjoy it, they want to find someone else like that guy, they're going to come back.
Okay, thank you. Daniel.
Yeah, I guess my only question, but I don't really need an answer for it. It's like, you know, the referral market is not something that is my area, so I just don't understand, you know, what kind of cash flows you can generate on that versus the cost of hosting the streaming service. So I guess that's something we could go on more detail offline. I'm just not familiar enough to understand, you know, the cost of running the live streaming service is gonna be, I'm assuming, relatively high once you reach scale, and I don't know, like, how much can the referral fees like support that? That's a question, the main question that I have, but it's mainly due to my lack of familiarity with the area.
Yes, Daniel, thank you. It's a great question, my favorite.
That's a valid question, and I think right now the way we're going is we're lean. We are not going to make a customized streaming. We are basically leveraging relationships and partnerships with those channels, having our enterprise and giving those benefits to our users. So we want to bootleg and create revenue as soon as possible until we find data and we analyze what's happening, so that we know, okay, this is the kind of customized streaming we want to create ourselves. Well, at that point, we'll have user data, we'll have an eye on the market, and we will be having revenue. So we won't be from zero.
Because I wonder, like, if initially it would make sense kind of like to do a partnership with either YouTube or Zoom or something like that, so they can like just host everything. You don't need to have those costs. I have at least like good contacts within YouTube if you're interested. In Zoom, I don't, but I mean, in any other like streaming service or something like that could work. But YouTube, I definitely know somebody in charge of partnerships in the London office, so I can get in touch with them.
That's fantastic. And we're actually based mostly UK time zone, and we're actually we're making kits right now on how to improve your monetization in YouTube. We want our creators to be making money over there and getting new audience over here.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Guys, one more question, and go to the next speech. Okay, Mustafa.
Yeah, please, this is maybe for more understanding for the project. This is I think more like TED. You will be like in the same part with TED, and the same time you have two competitors, main competitors. Okay, you have something like the live streaming applications, very famous live streaming applications, and very well defined as well as you have something like content introducer like TED. Okay, so you have the both. So do you have specific plan for competitive advantage about this?
Yes, you know what? So it's a unique voice. This is what I say. This is a two-sided marketplace in the end, but it is focused on the viewers, because without viewers, creators do not win. So Airbnb, they disrupted and they changed the style of how booking in hotels was, but hotels still exist. Booking.com with 15% fees still exists. But if you're a certain person who wants curated, interesting Airbnb Plus, you want that experience and you want to find what you like, you're going to use Airbnb, and Airbnb looks out for the viewers. I mean, for the hosts and the viewers. We look out for our viewers and we look out for our hosts. So it's different from going to a hotel booking site. They still exist and they will continue existing. God bless them, you know, but just like you're going to watch Wall Street Journal or you're going to do Vice.com. The different kind of people are going to go there, and that's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Christiana.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for that, but I
no, it's like a please send your presentation to other judges. It's really great.
This thing right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, Yelena, you shall be next.
Hello, everyone. And I'm
share
your my screen. Yeah, right now, just a second. Is it okay? Can you see it right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, just to start with, let me introduce myself. My name is Elena Vatutina, and I'm CEO and founder of Pharma Global company. And I would like to start my pitch from the real case that usually goes with every one of us. I go to a pharmacy almost every single month, and usually I spend at around $100 for healthcare goods. My friends do the same, friends of my friends do the same as well, and I suppose most of you do the same, and all of us want the healthcare goods to become cheaper. And here is Mohammed. He is a pharmacy owner. He would like to sell his healthcare goods at lower prices, but he can't because he has to supply it from a wholesale house distribution company. And this is a distribution company. They control more than 80% of sales in the pharmacies. So this is how the simple sales chain in pharmaceutical market looks like. The pharmaceutical manufacturer sells to a distribution company. The pharmacy supplies the wholesale house distribution company. And from every single $100 that you and I are paying in a pharmacy, from 45 to 70% goes for market access costs. This is working of medical representatives, advertising, commissions for pharmacy chains, commission for distribution companies, logistic, and etc. And manufacturers would like to make the direct connection with the pharmacy, but they can't because the market is not clear. And it is too risky to establish their own sales office, their own subsidiary company in the region. And if we look at the globe, the problem is really, really huge. Worldwide, this problem costs at around 526 billion of US dollars yearly. If we look at the MENA's market, this problem costs at around 70 billion of US dollars. At the market where our company operates on, this problem costs 156 of US dollars yearly. Me and my team, we were working in a pharmaceutical industry for 16 years already. Personally, I was in a team of a wholesale house distribution company. I launched my own pharmacy chain. I launched an online pharmacy, and I achieved leadership in the Russian and CIS markets in this field. And once we were dreaming how wonderful it would be if we can let pharmaceutical manufacturers to work with pharmacists directly. That's how me and my team invented our ecosystem of digital solution for pharmaceutical industry. It consists of two core products. The first one is an educational platform, and the second one is an e-commerce platform. Usually when we are going to a market, we start with an educational platform. It helps us to get easy access to markets. And later on, we make a convert all the contracts from educational platform into our e-commerce platform. We integrate e-learning platform into continuing medical education system in every single market where we operate. And we engage our e-commerce platform with every single point of connection that goes from between pharmaceutical manufacturer and the pharmacy. And by this time, we are a fast-scaling company. We have already made more than 200 of contracts with the pharmaceutical manufacturers, and there are huge companies like GlaxoSmithKline, like Unifarm, like AstraZeneca, like Philips among them. We have made contracts with more than 10,000 of pharmacies on our e-commerce platform, and we have integrated more than 27,000 of pharmacies on our education platform. And generally, all this solution helps to save up to 25% of market access costs. Right now, we have already made two market validation. We were established in Russia, and in 2019, we decided to go internationally. We did the research of the US market, or the European market, Chinese market, and decided to stay on the MENA's market. It's twice bigger rather than our domestic market, the first point, and the second point, it's not fragmented yet. And if it goes to the MENA region, we are focusing on 17 countries of the region. And our first step goes from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. These markets are our launch. And later on, we are about to attract another markets. By now, we have already made great traction in the MENA region. We have established our company in Abu Dhabi. We have made our first clients. And every week, we are engaging with 600 of pharmacies in the region. Moreover, we became winners at TIP Conference 2020 as an international team in the segment of healthcare in Abu Dhabi in February 2020. We have established partnership with local universities and are a current member of local startup hubs. And COVID-19 influenced us in a very good way. Our speed of making contracts with pharmaceutical manufacturers increased 6 times. In example, we made a contract with Teva Pharmaceutical for 1 year before the COVID-19. And we made a contract with Bayer just within 2 weeks because of COVID-19. Our future goals, we are not just about to stay in Russia, MENA, we are look at ourselves like a global company. And we are about to spend several years here to make a market development here in the region. And later on, we are focusing in the Asian market. By the way, our entity is our company, our IP property is already in Singapore, but we have a subsidiary companies in Russia and in Abu Dhabi. So we are looking for the support in the following fields. We are in the fundraising stage of 2.2 million of US dollars for scaling in the MENA region. We have already submitted 1.4 million from the lead investor, and we are in the due deal process right now. So we are about to make a connection with one of local investors to make a smart investments for us. We need a government support because all of our solutions are connected with healthcare industry. So of course, when working in this sensitive sphere, we need the support from the government. And of course, we would highly appreciate the mentorship from people who know this market in a good way and who maybe can give us a good advice how to scale faster than we are scaling right now. That's it. If you have questions, I would be happy to answer.
Yes, thank you, Elena.
Very super short question to Elena, just funny question.
Please.
Elena, from which city are you talking with us now, and from which city you start this excellent business, just for understanding of?
Well, right now I'm in Dubai.
Please, Lena, could you please like the short your presentation?
Just a second.
Yes, and be careful, please, if actually your voice.
Right now, I'm in Dubai, in United Arab Emirates, and our entity here in the UAE located in Abu Dhabi. And our company went from Novosibirsk, it's in Russia, in Siberia. This is my motherland, and I was born there. So our company came from that city.
Okay.
And Manana, may I interfere into your moderation? I would like to have some comments and answers from Abu Dhabi Business Angels, and also from Mr. Mustafa. As soon he's in charge of distribution chain in Saudi Arabia and in Egypt for pharmaceutical business. So that's the most important things I would like to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, can I say
So-
from yeah, please.
مصطفى تفضل.
لا تفضل حضرتك.
لا والله قبلك.
Oh, no, okay, guys.
Okay, I will thank you very much, Mr. Masoud. Thank you, Manana, and thank you, Elena, of course. Just I have two comments or questions. First of all, about the data. I think this is local data from Russia, right?
Not exactly. No, if it goes to the system that works, it has several points. The first one is code. Our code is located in Singapore. The property for the code is located in Singapore. We are collecting local data from the side of pharmacies, pharmacists, and pharmaceutical companies.
What I mean, because I think you misunderstand the question a little bit. I mean the data inside the presentation regarding how many pharmacies, because in Egypt you put Egypt as a possible market, okay? Actually it's way different. Egypt is more like Russia, not like here in Saudi Arabia is more like chains, you know, but in Egypt there is around 75,000 pharmacy, okay? So we have, for each 1,000 person or citizen, we have pharmacy dedicated for him. So this is, I think, more strong opportunity regarding this platform rather than here in Saudi Arabia if you are talking about private. But if you are talking about governmental sector, this is a way different, because I think here is more strong in the governmental opportunity for this platform more than Egypt. So this is clear, I think, in your plan, in your business plan. Because
definitely markets are different and the number of pharmacies are different, but in all the markets, problems in connection between pharmacies and pharmaceutical manufacturers are almost the same. It goes in a manual way, mostly in a manual way. And to be honest, you are definitely right. What we can see right now, the feedback from the market, most of pharmacies that are engaging on our education platform goes from Egypt. Yeah, that's the fact. And the second country, the second region, where our this is the GCC region. The GCC region.
Yeah, I know, but GCC actually, if we are talking about Saudi Arabia specifically, they are dealing in chains. They are dealing like big companies, okay? They are not dealing like Egypt. That's why you have a lot of data coming from Egypt, because Egypt, I had a pharmacy one day in Egypt. So Egypt is like, you know, every dream of every pharmacist, you will have a pharmacy. But here in Saudi Arabia is very aggressive market regarding pharmacies. You barely can find only one pharmacy for one person, owned by one person. It's only dependent on chains, because they already had an exercise since I think 15 years or something on this factor. The expenses between the pharmacy owner and the company who provide the medication and the manufacturer itself, and they came about this. So big, if you want to play big here in GCC, you will have to approach the owners, the big owners of the groups or chains. Okay,
sure.
It will take more time than Egypt, okay, to make business here, but it will be more bigger in the value and the volume more than Egypt, because Egypt is more hard to control. A lot of customers, you know, individual customers, not
Yeah,
companies.
sure, sure. Of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you for this comment. It's very useful. Yeah.
So I just got a quick question. I don't really know a lot about the pharmaceutical industry per se. You know, I do have a lot of prescriptions, but that's really about it. You know, I have a few friends who are in the biopharma industry who have done similar things, but some overlap here. I've just noticed it. It looks like you're doing a couple things. It sounds like you've already had you know, success in some local markets, you know, in the Middle East and maybe part of Russia, but it seems like you're trying to expand and it looks like you're looking for multiple avenues of support. And what I'm curious is about is how you're going to treat this targeting or this expansion. Is it going to be more of like a push or like a pull where on one end you're going to have kind of, if you could work with the governments, you know, you could have where you have kind of like a mandate where you could go in and say, you know, here's our solution, you know, this will help you shore up and streamline, you know, the delivery and save you costs. On the other one, you have the demand side where you have, you know, marketing, sales, and advertising to independent, you know, pharmacies like Mustafa was talking about. I'm curious, like, have you guys figured out that go-to market, like that strategy yet? Because it looks like you're still bridging the gap, which from my experience, doing this myself for a tax solution, it gets really complicated. I think you guys got to go all in. I'm just curious where you guys stand on that.
Oh, thank you. Was like my point. Thank you,
Yeah.
Morgan.
Well, you know, if it goes to our scaling internationally, I would say that we have two types of partners, from the side of pharmacies and from the side of pharmaceutical manufacturers and pharmaceutical companies. So let's imagine that pharmacies is like a field and pharmaceutical manufacturer is like a flower. So we are about to make engagement of the field with a flower. So in this case, we are attracting the pharmacies in the lower developed countries like Russia and CIS, like the MENA region, like Asia, Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, and others. And later, we are about to attract European, Chinese, American companies on our platform. We have already made a proof of concept that this is very useful and that we can provide this data and we can make this market clear to the pharmaceutical companies, and they can just make a digital distribution using our service. So they can just decrease costs and make it cheaper, closer, clear, and easier. And in this way, we are not about just to focus on the local markets. Our local markets is like a field for us, but we also are about to expand to establish the entity in Europe and in the United States, but at the bit later stages rather than we are now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, grassroots getting support from, you know, local pharmacies and regional and then moving up. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, going right to the government is always a tricky situation unless you have an insider or a huge lobbying strategy. So that makes a lot of sense.
You know, this is not about lobby. This is about, an example, continuing medical education system. So in every single country, in the United States, in Europe, in the MENA region, everywhere in Singapore, the system is almost the same. So if I'm a healthcare professional, I need to earn the educational credits, educational points. And this is connected with Ministry of Healthcare in every single country. And in this case, we need to make a partnership with local government, with ministries of healthcare, in order to make get these approvals for our activities on our platform. So this is highly needed, and this is the competitive advantage. So we have no other variant but to work with the local governments, you see?
Okay, this is interesting. But now you are competing with the pharmaceutical. Actually, there is two main competitors from your talking. There is two main competitors. You know, pharmaceutical representatives. You know, there's medical representatives and all this hierarchy of any pharmaceutical company now, because you know there is a huge relying now on online platform and services. So you are teasing this pharmaceutical companies to do different, you know, to do different perspective in terms of hiring and firing and all this and how it is going. And this is not bad for pharmaceuticals, but this will be very, very bad for sub-agents, you know. Sub-agent, there's huge area of
Sub-agents
sub-agents.
must die. I guess, finally. So sub-agents should not exist anymore. Mustafa, I will connect you with Elena directly, and then you can discuss the specific questions.
We need to discuss.
And then I would like to have one more comment from Abu Dhabi Angels, and then we have two more startups, and we have to move.
Yeah, please, guys.
Thank you, guys. I like what I see, honestly. 10,000 pharmacies, or was it 20,000 pharmacies signed up in Abu Dhabi? That's the first question. I just want to make sure about it. I want to also know the profit model, business model. I want you also to elaborate more on the education if possible, and how much revenues have you done so far?
If it goes to the number of clients, we have integrated 27,000 of pharmacies on our platform, educational platform in Russia and CIS, and around 3,000 in the MENA regions by now. And we have integrated around 10,000 of pharmacies on our e-commerce platform, and we haven't launched the farm market in the MENA region yet. So this is the key figures. If it goes to the business model, we have two revenue streams per each product. So if it goes to educational platform, the first revenue stream goes from side of pharmacies who pay for CPD and CME credits for their employees. And the second revenue stream goes from pharmaceutical manufacturers and pharmaceutical companies who are educating pharmacies to work with their products in a digital way. And if it goes to an e-commerce platform, there is also two types of revenue streams. The first one is success fee from the amount of transactions that goes throughout our platform. And the second revenue stream is services on our platform for pharmaceutical manufacturers, such as to make a marketing activity, to make an advertising activity, to launch the product, to get the analytical report. And the second revenue stream goes from the side of pharmacies, and it goes for analytical reports on how effectively they work with their assortment. This is the second revenue stream. And if it goes to the current figures, last year, the year 2019, we finished with 2.9 million of US dollars of revenue, and we are expecting to finalize the year 2020 with 4.8 million of US dollars of the revenue stream. But this goes for both of our entities in MENA and in Russia, company. So this goes like from Singaporean company.
Okay, thank you, Yelena. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I was so happy to be able to represent my company here.
Yeah, Yelena, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and go to the next speech, Evgeny.
Hello, thank you so much. I will share my screen now.
Yeah, guys. Before the start, Evgeny, please, you should be the few presentation, and I want to introduce you two more actually business angels. Two more. This is Konstantin and plus Igor. Hello, guys.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Okay, Evgeny.
So shall we start? Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So thank you so much for the opportunity to present Evopolar today. So our company is a full cycle technological company. We develop technology, we create products ourselves, we manufacture them, and we distribute them. The independent valuation of our patents is around $6 million. While utilizing these patents, we generated more than 15 million USD in revenue during the last 4 years, and we keep reinvesting all the profits. And totally, we've already reinvested more than $1.5 million in R&D, product development, and building our own proprietary production facility. So what we do is making paper-thin materials made from mineral fibers. Our materials are made according to traditional paper manufacturing technologies, but they are made from 100% inorganic composition. That makes our materials very durable and stable to aggressive environments. The fibers we use are fine, nano-thin, and as a result, our material is extremely porous. Just imagine, only 1 square meter of our paper can absorb up to 1 liter of liquid and provide huge surface for physical or chemical reaction. Our technology enhances different industries by making them more economically efficient and sustainable. There are numerous of applications. We are already working on some of them, and one application is already a profitable business for us. We've developed a series of Evopolar portable personal air conditioners. We utilized here the power of evaporative cooling that our technology allows. Cartridge made from our material absorbs water and provides huge surface for water evaporation. Just imagine, 1 cartridge of our material provides effectively 10,000 square meters of surface. So our device gives the same refreshing breeze as when you are at the seashore or shore of the lake. We are pretty strong in air cooler segment already, and our technology allows to do products in adjacent segments as well. So we are growing by 100% annually in our existing market, and the total addressable market with introducing other products can reach up to $10 billion, which is 4 times more than our existing air coolers market. Our products are beating all possible competition in air cooler segment. We are definitely leaders here, and in other segments, the products will also have the major technological advantage allowed by our technology. We have some other R&D stage developments. For example, we've created an evaporative pre-cooling add-on that allows to decrease the energy consumption of existing air conditioners by 10–20%. I mean, already installed air conditioners. We can make oxygen generation mask for divers and rescue teams. In this case, you just fill the cartridge from our material with special chemical instead of water, and you breathe in carbon dioxide and you can get back oxygen. We've already introduced to market just 1 month ago our air disinfection unit that evaporates hydrogen peroxide, effectively removing 92% of microorganisms from the air. And we also have a concept of a desalination unit, which can specifically be interesting for MENA region. We've completed several big projects, big industrial projects, like supplying underground systems with our material for air conditioning. Some innovative companies, including Dubai, Germany, and US, create their cooling solutions based on our material, which is proved to be the best in the industry. As a business, we are in a great position right now with already a profitable first application of the technology. We have the production facilities, development and distribution facilities in place, and they are prepared for further growth. And as a technology, we are in a unique position because our technology is very flexible. There are opportunities to develop application that market needs right now. As an example, I already mentioned that the air disinfection product that we made as a reply to current global pandemic challenge. Our team and product got almost every award we wanted and are recognized globally. Our infrastructure has a global setup for further growth with production facilities and warehouses all over the world to supply our distribution chain. So the concept of our company is building every new application of technology as a separate profitable business. And that allows us to be flexible with structuring and licensing technology or making exits for separate applications. So we've already sold more than 100,000 air coolers, and we have interest, we received interest to this business from major players already. So we hope that we will be able to partially license it next year, or we can always keep it as it is profitable. And we plan to develop other applications the same way. We've already overperformed the financial projections we had for this year. So with the growth rate of 100% only in air cooler segment, and we introduced the air disinfection unit. So the total revenue grew from $2.5 million last year to $5 million already this year. And our profit will also most likely double comparing to the numbers we had last year. So what we are searching for is an investment that will allow us, further growth. We offer 12% equity for our existing entity, and the above mentioned share is valued at $2 million. So we will spend these funds on new products development that will allow us to get to this new market that we mentioned, to expand the distribution channel of our existing business and develop new applications of our technology. So that is it. If you have any questions, here are the contacts, and they will be happy to answer anything.
Eugen, please. Yeah, Eugen, please. And let's close your presentation. Yeah, and yeah, guys. First of all, I want to introduce you to the Konstantin and Igor, and the waiting questions from Morgan and Daniel too. We shall be fast.
Yeah, I guess let's start high level in terms of the filters that are created. What is the limitation, if anything, on the manufacturing process on how big you can make these filters?
The filters itself, we are able to make any kind of filter, in fact, that the industry needs. Any type of cellulose filters that exist right now or from any other material, we are able to replicate them and their properties, but in inorganic composition, which will make the properties much better. So the best thing about it is that there is no bacteria that can spread on inorganic composition. So the filters, the biggest danger from them, the filters that you have in your air conditioners, they are currently develop bacteria. And we are able to solve that. But this was not the first step for us to go into business. So we decided not to focus right on filters and on supplying the materials, but instead we are developing the applications of the technology where the technology shows its best. So for example, for evaporative cooling, we not only utilize the biostability of the material, we also utilize huge surface, huge absorption capabilities, and that allowed us to build products that are both compact and powerful. Same as with the other examples of the technology applications I mentioned about, but of course we can do regular filters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think it's interesting. Back in a prior life, I worked in semiconductors and I was in a clean room. So, I do understand the whole negative pressure aspect and the huge filters you need to have under those environments. Something important when you're looking at all these different use cases is what is the, I definitely understand why your filters are better because of the nature of them being inorganic. The question is how much more expensive, or are they cheaper than the versions that are being used today in industry? And I don't have too much insight into how crowded that market is, whether or not there's high pricing power or not. But it'll be interesting to figure out out of all these industries that you mentioned, for example, you mentioned healthcare, semiconductors, even combustion engines. Which of them are the ones in which you can actually sell the filters for the most? And ideally, an industry where instead of selling a small filter for a car, you're selling filters for a whole semiconductor plant, and that's just a massive contract. anyways, just a very interesting, all the different use cases that you're showing.
Yes, so our filters, of course, they are more expensive than traditional cellulose filters because cellulose is very cheap. And our manufacturing process, despite we use the traditional paper-like manufacturing, it still requires more expensive components for that because mineral fibers are more expensive in production because you need to melt them and so on. So, so that is why we don't aim to, replace all the filters in the world with our filters. We are searching for the particular applications where the benefits of our filters can show the best set of properties. So, for example, we are not aiming to replace all the cleaning filters that we have in the rooms, but specifically for clean rooms, when you need to have ultra high level of accuracy, of filtering accuracy, our filters will show much better performance and the cost will not become a problem. So we are looking for this particular applications where the filter cost is not a big problem for the company comparing to the benefits they get.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
The next question, yeah, Igor.
Yes. So I don't know how sharp could I be, but actually this is exciting, deep technology bullshit from my perspective, right? And I will explain why. We should actually talk not about the technology, right? We should talk about the business. And I hear nothing about business, right? So I actually basically don't care if your coolers are better than others. I do care about marketing channels. I do care about the unit economic. I do care about the size of the market and how you win the market, right? So basically, you mentioned that you worth 6 million in your kind of patents. Sell them and enjoy, right? It would be the best probably how you could manage what you have right now. But if you want to sell the business, you need to demonstrate how you will build the business, how you will build the business that will grow 2x each and every year and return money for investors. So sorry if I'm sharp, but are we talking about the venture business or are we talking about some kind of technology institute?
I believe that probably some part of my presentation was missed because I mentioned that we've already built one profitable application of our technology. Our annual revenue this year is $5 million, which is 100% growth rate comparing to last year. So we are making air coolers, which are the leading products on the market. And we are a full cycle company. We develop the technology, we develop products, we manufacture them ourselves, and we sell them ourselves. This is more like a traditional business. So, I'm not going to cover the specifics of the electronics distribution business. We were able to build a solid, profitable business based on the technology. This is just the first application, and we are going to build more products and develop more technology application further. So we are a profitable business.
If you do classical business, then okay, then I'm fine. I take my words back, But if we want to talk about the venture capital business, then I would prefer to hear another story. So sorry, Manana, sorry if I actually missed the format.
No problem. The time is short, so I have to cover this very briefly. So no problem.
Okay, sorry again.
Okay, Morgan.
About I'm sorry, just a small question.
Yeah.
You mentioned like filters, okay?
Yes.
So is factories, medication factories like pharmaceutical factories, the filters have very specific specifications and like this about the particle size and
yes, exactly.
doses and about this. So is it in your plan to enter this, because this is way different and very specified?
We would be very happy to cooperate specifically with you if you could, guide us to the right person, because accessing that market is extremely hard. You need to know exact persons who are both able to make decisions and who are both technologically advanced to understand the benefits. So,
But you already have the product for this.
yes, so we are definitely able to do this. So our accuracy of filtration is much better than traditional filters. And we had a couple of applications of our technology which demonstrate that. For example, we solved the problem of the blood plasma filtration here in Russia, because right now you filter blood plasma with the centrifugal way, because you need to separate the two different liquids, and you're not able to apply cellulose organic filters because the bacteria spreads there, and you are not able to add any impurities into blood plasma. So our filters, they are 100% inorganic, so they are completely stable, and we were able to filter blood plasma directly through this filter. This is just one, example of what our technology is capable for. Of course, I had to speak, about very simple businesses like evaporative cooling.
Yeah.
This is how we make money. This is how our business grows right now, and we will continue growing it. But other applications of the technology are much more exciting. They can become much bigger business than consumer electronics business. But accessing them requires time, and we'll be grateful for any help here.
Okay, thank you very much. And for your information, the biggest investment now in the GCC and MENA region is building factories. So I think you have to think again about this, because this is very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Morgan.
So I was just like, as I was going through this PDF, like maybe 5 minutes before this, there was an ad for something that was almost virtually identical to your product. Just came up on YouTube. It was really funny. And it actually,
there are lots of Chinese copies. We're already fighting them with our patents. We have both patents for design and for technology itself. But of course, in this consumer electronics market, Chinese guys are doing things quicker than you do.
this is actually a US company. I'm not sure if you're familiar. I mean, I don't remember what it was, but it looked exactly like your product. So it was really kind of interesting.
Wow.
So I don't know how competitive this market is, but it seems like it's kind of, obviously fairly competitive. If, I just randomly see one in a minute, I don't think it's a coincidence. It's summer, people are interested in AC use. So I was looking at your projections, and like, is this based on acquiring the funding that you hope to get, or is this based on the applicable resources you guys already have as far as money, capital, time, labor?
Well, we reinvest all the profits, definitely, and we will be able to grow with the, some kind of speed. So I would say that optimistically, we may be able to reach the growth level we have there by ourselves, but we always face the lack of working capital, first of all. And we are not able to invest in every single application and every single, the idea that we have in our mind that we know that will bring money. Because right now we already have distribution channels in place. As you mentioned, there is a competition, but every year our products are 100% sold before July starts, despite the summer season. So the demand is constantly much, much higher. So we're just not able to fulfill the demand from the air coolers to, get 100% of its potential. We are fighting with the copies, so we are 100%, protected legally from our design is protected, our technology is protected. It just, takes effort, to address every single infringement of our copyright here. But from Amazon, we remove many copies. From major platforms, we remove them. And with the capital, if we can get them, we will be able to build new products in adjustment segments and utilize our existing distribution channel. So we will be able to sell not only air coolers, but humidifiers, purifiers, and all the products that can go through the same distribution channel, which will allow horizontal expansion. And on the other side, we will be able to develop new applications of the technology, which could be much more exciting, as I mentioned, as a traditional consumer electronics business, and much more profitable, which will allow vertical expansion. And every single application we try to build as a separate business so that we can then decide what to do with it, whether we keep it for us, or we license it, or we sell it.
Who is your biggest competitor, legally, I should say, since anyone could copy your stuff, I guess?
Well, the biggest player, I would say, in the United States is Homedics company. So it's sorry, then they invited us once we introduced that product. So we were the ones who actually invented this category. So the product concept is still new, and we introduced this 5 years ago. So when they invited us in Detroit, and eventually we refused any offers from them, and they decided that they will do their own product. But last year I sent them a screenshot from Amazon when the competitor, when the customer compares their two products of them and of ours, and eventually he returns their product back to Amazon, and our product stays at his home. And but I never received a reply from the owner. But anyway.
Eugene, what is your actually exit strategy for the investors?
So,
and for example, could you mention some venture capital firms who could be a perfect partner, or who be the best lead investor?
I would say very good venture partner.
For example, from US market.
Yes, for US market, the exit strategy for consumer electronics business is pretty simple. So once you are big enough and once you sell enough on Amazon, you are eventually consumed by Amazon. So right now, Amazon takes lots of products from us every week, around the 40-feet container. The product just flow constantly to Amazon. And we specifically developed our smart product that is connected to Alexa to increase the interest from them. And we are currently on a level to start discussing the partnership with them. So the ideal partner would be a venture partner who invested into companies who were eventually sold to either Amazon or some bigger consumer electronic companies, so that they have enough connections here. The other, possible venture partner for us would be a very advanced and experienced partner in technological side of it, so that we could transfer the technology maybe somewhere, or a part of it, some particular application. So this is our idea.
Guys, one more question or comments for Evgeny?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So my question is, you mentioned that you're working on doing some research on 20% saving for home use air condition. As you know, we live in the United Arab Emirates. Today I was playing tennis. It was around 45 degrees Celsius. It's hot. What I'm trying to say is that it's hot here. And what stage did you reach in that, and how much would it cost to retrofit, for example, your basic home air conditioner? Sorry about that. I have my kids. Yeah, how much would it cost to retrofit, and are you interested in doing any projects in very warm climates like ours, perhaps R&D?
Yes, Arabic countries is a targeted market for this specific application. So what we are on the stage where we are actually ready for pilot. So we developed what we call a pre-cooling add-on, which you install on the outer part of the air conditioner, and it provides additional cooling power using evaporative cooling, and in fact it reduces the workload on your traditional air conditioner. So our targeted customers here are business centers, trading centers, where you have a centralized air conditioning systems. Because we need to install that on bigger systems on the roof mostly, so it is not applicable for room air conditioners, the traditional one. But if you have a centralized air conditioning in the building, we can definitely help reducing the energy consumption. And Arabic countries can benefit a lot from this, because the hotter and drier the climate is, the better result you can get. So we are searching for the partner who could provide us the facility for piloting, and who could give us the initial investment for building the product that we will pilot, because we need to start thinking about manufacturing. The goal here of the pilot would be to check how everything works in the environment and design everything to be applicable for a variety of cooling equipment. So we don't want to develop a new product for each set of cooling equipment. We need to have a flexible product that will be installed on every single setup of cooling equipment. So our business model here is that we plan that setting our pre-cooling add-ons for the building should cost 1 year of savings, roughly. So if you pay the bills of $1 million annually, which is the real bill for the bigger trading center, then the cost of installation should be around $100,000. But in fact, we don't change the behavior of the payment. So you would have paid this $1 million, but for the electricity authority, instead you pay the same sum, but $900,000 comes to them and 100 comes to us. And starting from the second year, you start saving. So, and 1 year return on investment is nothing for retail business.
Okay, guys, one more question. Daniel or Morgan, maybe Igor and Konstantin. Lena, you want to ask? Okay. Okay, Evgeny. Thank you
so much. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to present here our company. And if you have any further questions, I will be happy to reply them in the email.
Yes, thank you for your time, Evgeny. Okay, thank you. And they're ready for the next project.
I think we have the last one, right?
Yes, last one.
MacLedger.
Yes, hi. I'm Ahmed Al Musa. I'm the co-founder and general manager here at MacLedger. I'll go ahead and share the slides.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So thank you for having me here today.
Thank you. Join us.
I prepared a small script and pitch because I thought that this is a 2-minute.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So is my slides clear to you all?
Yes.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay. So MacLedger is an online accounting platform which blends industry experts and a little bit of AI and a lot of automation to process daily bookkeeping requirements for small businesses and SMEs. With the recent tax regulations in the GCC, this has created some challenges for SMEs, such as increased expenses of procuring accounting, either in-house or by hiring accountants or acquiring the services of non-certified freelancers, and this can really compromise on quality and consume a lot of time. So we saw an opportunity here, and we did some research. Our total addressable market in the region is around 300,000 SMEs who lack fast and accurate accounting services. This really gives us the opportunity to jump into this market, especially with remote working becoming a trend. And this really has been our focus since the beginning. So maybe you'll ask, how are we different? Basically, our accounting platform is accessible through web and smart devices. And it's not just a software, because we do the service for you at the end. And we do the service for you from you. All you have to do is upload the documents, and then we will submit all the reports to you. So with this, we feel that we are disrupting the traditional accounting industry here in the region, and we are really changing the equation of service and value so that SMEs can have access to affordable accounting services. Of course, as any business wants to grow, we want to expand into the region, and we want to focus first on the GCC and then into the MENA region. And we want to also invest more capital into our tech, which is Robo Accountant. Basically, it simulates like human functions such as analyzing, allocating, and posting of ledger to prepare the reports and in the future maybe also financial forecasting. So with regards to automation, for example, at the moment our accountant to client ratio, we managed to increase it from 1 to 6 to 1 to 12 in 1 year, and we plan to triple that in the next few years.
This definitely helps us to increase our gross profit margin. How it works, so basically the clients can do it through the app, or they can give us a call. We will send our onboarding team. If the client cannot explain his business and cannot explain about, or he has no idea how it works in terms of accounting, cost recognition, etc., we can send our experts to sit with him, collect the data, and to follow up for the first 2 months, so they get this sort of interaction between the business owner and us who's providing the service. So after that, it's activated, and it's a two-way interaction between us and the client. All he has to do is just snap his purchase documents or his sales invoice, and our technology will parse, analyze, and do the proper ledger and accounting work for him, so he doesn't have to. Our business model is our business revenue model is subscription based, and also it is transaction based if the client exceeds a certain amount of transactions. So how do you compare McLedger accounting with other web-based and competitors, web-based, app-based competitors? So we provide accounting service, not just an accounting software. Of course, we have a complete platform which has much more features than your standard other accounting softwares out there. Also, our accounting platform, basically, it's free when you download it and install it, but we charge for our services to help the client do his work. So with us, if you work with us, you don't really need to hire an accountant because we're going to do the job for you. While with other accounting softwares, you have to hire an accountant or basically be an accountant yourself. So a lot of business owners, especially SMEs, they don't really understand the international accounting standards, and they maybe not be able to comply with the regulatory requirements. In terms of reporting, our reporting is customizable also in terms of providing the necessary reports that the client requires, because it's our own platform. We developed it. It's our own proprietary. We can tweak it and customize it as how we like. So for other web-based and app-based competitors, they really, for any upgrades, you need to pay, a lot of different subscription fees, etc. Also here in the UAE, we are registered tax agents, so we can do tax submissions for the Federal Tax Authority. Other competitors don't have that option. The core team is comprised of myself, and I have experience 12 years approximately in management and finance. And Khalid, the head of our technology, has 15 years experience in, he developed the platform along with his team. He introduced our AI, and he reviews and monitors the functions of the R&D. Ala has more than 10 years also in heading accounts, and he's heading also the onboarding for all our clients, and he's also a financial controller. And Nehrish is handling our marketing. She's also has 8 years experience in content design, research, analysis, etc. So I guess, honestly, we're not here to really pitch for, any funding, because we're part of an enterprise group, and we're really getting all the support from them, and we have access to a board of advisory, and our capital requirements are good to go for the time being. So we're really here to make some connections and get some exposure, and to make new friends, and hope that we can keep a relationship going for the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we shall be fast. Morgan.
Yeah, I have a question. One of the key things that comes in mind when you're going to be ingesting all these documents from clients, of course, is privacy. So can you talk a little more about data privacy for all the client information and the documents that you're receiving?
Great question.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, we operate under the UAE laws and regulations, and according to the UAE law number 2 for the commercial companies 2015 states that all businesses have to, you know, handle all the privacy of the customers, and we take that very seriously here. Also, of course, when our clients they sign up with us, there's a privacy policy that they agree to, and it's very clear what we do with the information, and it's stored. I mean, like the information we can use anonymously for statistic wise, but not in terms of specific private information. For each business is treated with utmost confidentiality.
Okay, great.
And also to clarify, then the service that you provide is fully through the app. So I mean, there's a few other companies that I've seen that, for example, what they do is almost like an outsourced accounting person. But in this case, it's not a dedicated resource, but rather like an app. And then like on the back end, you're going to have different people that can provide it. Or would you have a model in which you can have a dedicated person that you can call?
Absolutely, yeah. So basically how we work is we have checkers, and these checkers are experts. So each checker can handle a large database of clients, and he can you know, and the platform also because of what it's able to do in terms of the learning curve that it has. You know, we can each checker can handle a lot of clients. So this allows us to basically reduce the human interference and reduce you know, outsourcing this job to someone else. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess my question was more like if I'm a client, for example, and I submitted documents, but then I have a question, can I speak to the checker that is assigned to me, or do the checkers vary of which client they're working on? Are they dedicated resources, or are they more like ad hoc based on who's free at the time when a document comes in that needs entry, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the customer service department will take your questions if you have any, and will dedicate it back to the required checker so he can advise you in terms of what is required, or if you have any clarification. Because sometimes, you know, the system will flag and raise alerts so that the checker can intervene. We hope that in the future we can invest in this so that the system will learn more and reduce this intervention.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
I was gonna say a couple things that I was curious about. So right now you're saying that, you know, you have over 500 clients. What is the demographic makeup of those clients right now?
Do you mean region-wise or like industry-wise?
Well, actually, I'm just, I don't know any, like it doesn't, I didn't see exactly. I'm assuming they're, you know, small businesses. Maybe you have a few large ones, but I'm just curious, like what region, industry, and company size.
Okay, so region is 100% UAE at the moment.
Yeah.
And industry-wise is we prefer to work with you know, businesses that are in the service industry because they don't have a lot of inventory, and that creates a headache for us. In terms of size, we prefer to work with startups and SMEs because we can provide this service cheaply for them. And also it reduces the, you know, operational cost for us. You know, it doesn't really make sense to provide this service for large companies because they already have a huge accounting department who's crunching numbers all the time, and it wouldn't really add value to them. But for a small business, it would really add value because the cost of an accountant for him really makes a difference. He can spend it somewhere else.
Have you guys thought about targeting a specific sector? I mean, services is like probably what, over 70% of the world economy right now. It's pretty broad. So have you guys like focused or thought about focusing on like a very specific one?
We like to work with the food and beverage industry. We like to work with the retail industry in terms of small and medium-sized businesses.
So you haven't really targeted any more specific other than just kind of the broad consumer retail for like food and beverage and like retail items, I guess, is what you're saying.
You know, at the moment, it's not about really targeting them. It's more about we're interested to partner with, you know, incubators, accelerators, or even authorities, so that we can gain access to any type of startup and SME, so we can provide our services for them. It's not really important, you know, in the first few years of them growing. We don't feel that it's really important which type of industry they are.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I have not a question, just comment. See, like when you say, okay, I'm here on the pitch just for make connections and some useful network and blah, 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 you don't need money. So when you say, no, I don't need money from investors, so investors, they, you know, like disappear with their questions because they say, okay, why we have to challenge the guy with the questions? Because he doesn't need us at all. But I'm okay. If you want any feedback or like useful connections or anything that this community can bring to you, so can you specify what is your requirements, like what is your development strategy, or what community can bring to you, and what is your request to the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, you know, we are very interested to partner with accelerators, incubators, authorities who can really give us access to SMEs, because this way we can work up some sort of a business partnership between us and them, either it being financial or non-financial, so that it can be a win-win situation for both of us. And it's not just about making money for us here, but also for creating our reputation and the reputation of our founders, so that we can add value to the SME industry here in the UAE and in the region.
Mm-hmm. Guys, do you have questions? Or maybe Dwight is eager.
Yeah. So
yes.
with regards to expansion, do you have any plans for expansion? And I think since you're not raising any money, are you looking for any value adders? You know, when you mentioned you're looking to partner up, for example, with incubators, with ecosystem partners, you know, I was an entrepreneur once upon a time, and really, like you said, it's hard. You know, you want to make sure you spend your money well. And, you know, I see a rise in the future for dedicated services for SMEs, whether they're financial, or whether you're doing e-accounting or robo-accounting, whether you're giving them legal services, whether I think there's going to be a whole industry sprouting up for that. So with regards to expansion, do you have any plans?
First of all, our main focus is the UAE, because you know, we feel that the industry here, there is some sort of a lack of seriousness when it comes to the business owners and their books of accounts in terms of small businesses. And there is some sort of a leniency, because maybe the tax regulation is still new. It requires SMEs to maintain proper books of account, but it is still there is still some leniency between the authority and the business owners. So really, it's also about educating in the region here, and by providing the service to raise better SMEs. You know, that's one thing. And in terms of expansion, you know, the GCC is united in terms of this tax regulation. So it's very simple for us to scale up into other GCC countries. It's just a matter of implementation. Once that's done, we can really simulate this into other parts of the MENA region, because they all share the same language and they all share some sort of cooperation between them in terms of regulation, in terms of, you know.
But the question was, I mean, like how you can be more sustainable, and it's all like about like the value added for the community. Yeah, because when we talked with Morgan, actually, it was like the same project for the US market, and they use blockchain as well. And the question was how you could be like the one of the unicorns. Or like,
yeah, I mean, you know, the secret to being a unicorn is always monopoly.
Yeah. Sorry. So go ahead.
I mean, that's always the secret, is you have to become a monopoly to be a unicorn. And, you know, it's just like, you have to figure out where you can get a monopoly. And that's what I was trying to hint at, is like, you know, we were targeting the cannabis industry because it's an industry that, you know, has been illegal for most of its history. And, you know, now that it's becoming legal, you can actually implement a tax regime into it. And to do that, if you do it through a method like this, then you can basically corner the whole market. You can get everyone on board with a consistent, you know, tax software that will not only allow people to do their taxes that they've never done before, but also seamlessly streamline a lot of the products in the industry. So that was something we were approaching. It's still, my former partner is still working on it out of the UK. It was just a little premature for the cannabis industry. It's still very, very fragmented. And, you know, I kind of had to give up on it and walk away from it. But things like this are always interesting to me because, you know, you're trying to tackle a huge industry. There's a lot of different players with a lot of different solutions. And you're also coming against an entrenched industry full of, you know, CPAs. So that's what I was trying to figure out, you know, how you guys really want to target, you know, the specifics within Dubai, because I feel like, you know, as a very rich country per capita and, you know, very concentrated, there's probably a lot of targets that you could, you know, hone in on, and being actually local to that area, you'd have an advantage over, you know, the Zeros and the other, you know, the QuickBooks that could infiltrate that area.
Yeah, I'm totally agree with Morgan. Yeah, it was like the point.
I'm sure I made it clear that our target is SMEs here, first of all, because it's just, you know, a simpler business model for us to achieve. For example, say at the moment we are charging 750 dirhams for our bookkeeping services, online bookkeeping services, which gives complete, you know, reporting and full access to all our other revenue management system and tax filing.
Can you just mention it in the US dollars, like 750? It's how much in US dollars?
Sure.
It's so funny.
It's 200. 200
per month.
Yeah. So if you want to hire an accountant in Dubai, the minimum you need to pay is around 3,000 dirhams per month, which is around $820. This is the cost of a going freelance accountant. And not to mention, if you will go for a traditional bookkeeping service, it will definitely go even more than that. Now, how can we scale this up? That's why I mentioned we want to partner with authorities. So for example, here in Dubai, we have many licensing authorities. Some of them are located in free zones, and they attract investors from all over the world to come and start their businesses in the UAE. So based on our research, we said that our total addressable market is around 300,000. Say, for example, we managed to secure 70,000 or 50,000. Multiply that by 750 per month, and you got yourself a unicorn number. So that's the type of partnership that we want to reach to, and we really hope that we will be able to reach it, because we can provide the best solution at the best rate and the best accuracy. Simple as that. That's one way. Another thing which is important for these authorities or / ecosystems to partner with us is that they can have a visual dashboard to monitor these SMEs and to do their financial analysis on them. Okay. If they want to implement other regulation or if they want to do other things, because at the moment it's kind of wild west here, and there's just random selection on who gets audited and who gets not in terms of SMEs.
You just want to become a status of business liaison, like it's now everywhere in Cyprus, on Seychelles, everywhere on the offshore zone. So that's the right strategy.
Sorry,
your target is to attract clients who came to UAE from abroad, and that's how you want to increase your revenue or your business size.
No. Sorry, I didn't understand your question.
No. Igor, do you have a question? Or
it's actually pretty simple. Lena mentioned actually that it's difficult to ask the question when you don't ask for money, right? But okay. Do you have any kind of fair or unfair technology advantage, right? So basically, imagine that Igor is coming to UAE, right? And also develop, exciting product for accounting. Who prevents me to beat you on your markets? So what prevents me to beat you on your market?
Well, thank you, Mr. Igor. We spent a lot of time and effort to create the OCR's system, which parse analyze the upload document based on certain back-end rules and validations to create the related, accounting record in no time. And I think if Igor wants to come to the UAE and he wants to do that, then he needs to invest a lot of money to reach this level. And by the time he does that, we are way ahead of him. And also for the automation process that we have, we spent a lot of time and effort to develop the platform, which is, which is able to predict the related expense category, and to, based on certain, like transaction size, client average cost, client consumption patterns, and also based on the onboarding report that our consultants bring in the first time. So this is our proprietary system, and it is not dependent on any other, cloud-based accounting limitation. So do I feel that you can come and immediately do this? No, it needs a lot of research and development from your side.
Okay. But you mean research and development in technical side or in some other side? Because let's say Igor already have a solution, and he already have, I know it. So what is then? If he already have and he can roll out it in 2 weeks, so what's the difference then between him and you?
Shit happens, Lena.
Okay.
Well, we have experience in the region, more than 15 years experience here. We know the tax regulations. Okay. We know how the accounting is done here. It's our bread and butter, basically. That's what we've been doing from a long time.
Okay.
We also.
So I can actually help you. So do you have some kind of licenses that is really difficult to kind of receive for others? Do you have any specific technologies that might be adopted for some kind of other services, or could provide you or give you an opportunity to be competitive if you decide to scale out of your home region?
Yeah, or for example, parents, or maybe have like this, I don't know, maybe you have like an amazing advisor board or like the celebrity from finance side, or like the maybe relationship with government, something like and can protect you.
Yeah, but basically, so in general, actually, what you hear from us is that you need so you always need to be remembered, and you need to stay competitive, right? As so I previously worked for Intel, and our CEO told us, you are either fast or dead, right? And this is actually the right term, I believe. So, you always need to be competitive anyway.
Can I say something,
Yes,
please?
yes.
Actually, this is catching idea if you tackle the right competitive edge of your idea, because I think you ignored or you didn't show it correctly that you are like a gate for any investor to deal with the government and taxes and all approvals and license approvals, financial approvals, and all this, right? This is part of your application business.
That's well, not entirely, but the bookkeeping or maintaining books, that's our priority, and reporting that to the authorities if required, and tax filing.
Yes, so you are settling the tax filing of any other business with the government, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
Okay.
I think this is
Guys, maybe Constantine or Daniel, because they have like 5 minutes at the end. Do you have questions or comments or advices?
I mean, I think it's you guys are in a good position as far as the work you've done already. I mean, let me just put it this way: the product we had, it was much bigger on on the idea of it, but as far as the granularity into the details of the operations, it was pretty limited. It was more, ours was barely a proof of concept. I think yours is like a really solid, start of a product that can be improved upon. So I mean, it looks good. I mean, I think the challenge is going to be getting those key stakeholders, key advocates, and that's what we had issues with as well. We were trying to juggle between government approval, which again is tricky situation. You kind of have to and in the US it's interesting because you have local, state, and federal government, so you have like 3 different levels, and that was always a challenge to figure out which ones would work with you, which ones wouldn't. And we did get some responses from the local and even a little bit of state support, but it was very isolated, and it was always in like a state we didn't really care a lot about anyway. Like it wasn't New York or California, it was like Nebraska or something. But on the other hand, if you guys can get an advocate, a couple industries, or like Manana was saying, like a celebrity, someone who's well known, then I think that's your best bet, because all you got to do is just keep pitching to each individual person on that level. And once you get the pitches perfected and you get them to believe in what you're doing because they see what you're doing is going to help them or their business immensely, then I think you guys are golden. But it's easier said than done, obviously.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you for your time. It was great panel and it was great conversation. Thank you, Daniel, Morgan, and Konstantin, Elena, and like the amazing guy from Intel, and Ivan. Thank you, our entrepreneurs. Thank you, our guests. Let's go ahead and see you on the next week. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Manana.
Bye-bye.